Welcome to the BIC Magazine Weekly Industry Report, your go-to source for the latest updates in the energy sector. I'm Samantha, your AI podcast host, and today is March 7th, 2025. In today's episode, Chevron is open to buying Phillips 66's stake in their chemicals joint venture. EIA forecasts on refinery closures and consumption, and other top news from the energy sector this week. But before we get started, we ask that if you enjoy our podcast, please like, comment, and share it with your colleagues. Your support helps us grow and allows us to bring you even more exciting updates from the energy sector in the future. With that being said, let's jump into the first story. The EIA's latest outlook forecasts that by 2026, U.S. inventories of gasoline, distillate fuel oil, and jet fuel will hit their lowest levels since 2000, driven by refinery closures and rising consumption. With inventories expected to close at 375 million barrels, this decline is set to push up wholesale refinery margins, though falling crude prices may temper retail price impacts. Gasoline consumption is projected to dip slightly due to efficiency gains, while distillate balances will be influenced by growing biofuel use, which could cushion inventory shortfalls. However, jet fuel supply will be especially tight, with days of supply dropping to levels not seen since 1963. These shifts signal a volatile market ahead, highlighting the evolving dynamics of U.S. fuel production and consumption. Next up, Golden Pass LNG terminal in Sabine Pass, Texas, just secured more time to launch exports, thanks to a permit extension approved by U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright. This move aligns with the administration's push for American energy dominance, promising job creation, national security boosts, and strengthened global energy leadership. Set to become the 9th large-scale U.S. export terminal, Golden Pass, backed by Qatar Energy and ExxonMobil, could start shipping LNG as early as this year, with a massive capacity of up to 2.57 billion cubic feet of natural gas per day. This milestone follows recent DOE approvals, signaling accelerating momentum for U.S. LNG on the global stage. Moving on now, Chevron is eyeing Phillips 66's stake in their joint chemicals venture, a move spurred by activist investor Elliott Management's push for Phillips 66 to divest. While no talks are currently underway, the stake's estimated value sits around $15 billion, though fluctuating chemical margins could shift that figure. Chevron CEO Mike Wirth sees chemicals as a growth engine, with rising demand for lightweight, energy-efficient materials. Notably, both companies hold a right of first refusal, adding a layer of complexity to any potential deal. This could signal a strategic shift for Chevron, reinforcing its long-term petrochemical ambitions. For our next story, the U.S. Senate voted to overturn the Biden administration's methane fee, a key policy from the Inflation Reduction Act, aimed at cutting emissions from large oil and gas facilities. The fee, starting at $900 per metric ton of methane in 2024, was set to rise to $1,500 by 2026. Industry groups welcomed the reversal, calling the fee an unfair burden, while critics argue the move weakens environmental protections and could drive up long-term energy costs. With both the House and Senate passing the resolution, attention now turns to President Trump for final approval. Finally, to close our show out, Covestro is making strides toward climate neutrality at its Baytown, Texas site with the NEUCI project, cutting greenhouse gas emissions from its nitric acid unit by up to 99%. This translates to a 60% reduction in the site's overall Scope 1 emissions, a major step toward the company's goal of being operationally climate neutral by 2035. The project, which reduces annual CO2e emissions by around 195,000 tons, was implemented purely for environmental benefits. With previous initiatives, Covestro's total CO2e reduction from nitric acid production now nears 900,000 tons annually. Leaders at the company see this as just the beginning, aiming for long-term positive impacts on both the site and the Baytown community. And with that, we come to a close on this week's episode of the BIC Magazine Weekly Industry Report. You can head over to bicmagazine.com to read the full stories discussed today, and make sure to follow us on all of our social media channels so that you never miss out on the latest developments, updates, and announcements from the energy sector. Have a great day, and remember, it's what we do together that counts.